Hello members, Kibabi University team presents you their project ICT Staff Capacity Building Digital Content Development. In the team, we had Mr. Daniel Kaoya Muyobo and Mr. McDonald Wekesa. I, being the team lead, Professor Franklin Waboba. Our project's main aim was to support and strengthen capacity of staff at Kibabi University in developing digital content for online and blended education. How did we manage to achieve our aim? In the project, there were three main teams: the UK members, our university management, and our team. Now, as you can see here, as we team members, we could be able to see and interact with UK team, and we were also interacting with management. But management and UK, as you can see, they could not see each other. How did we go about it? First of all, we started by the planning phase. In the planning phase, we shared our vision with management. And management bought into our vision and gave us the support. So we sat down and set objectives and shared the tasks to be undertaken. After sharing the tasks to be undertaken, we now had to go and do the needs assessment with our members, which we established as we put in the main goal. Then we went as the next step to execute the plan. After this planning phase, we moved to the next phase of monitoring. And you'll notice this was continuing throughout the phases, and that's why they are in the triangle. In monitoring, we assessed what had been done. After monitoring, we went to an evaluation phase. And in evaluation, we reviewed what had been done against the set targets and objectives. We would see and we noticed that indeed, as we worked, there were deviations. So the control phase came into play. In the control phase, we had to come up with a remedial action to be taken to ensure that the deviations are not there so that we go back to track. And therefore, after taking the remedial action, we went back again to plan. So the process continued and continued. You notice that we are outside the triangle, in that the mentors, we shared the work we were doing with the mentors, and we were able to see what we were doing on our platform. And they advised, kept us also as evaluators. They gave advice which we kept on adjusting with. And our management, as you can see, it was seeing what we were doing. So they gave us the support and they observed what we were doing, which was a motivation for us to move on. It was a triangle process within the triangle. Our outcomes of our project, as you can see to the left, is a picture of the module that was developed in training staff online via digital content. That is our Kibabi University. From these developed modules, we had a pilot team of Kibabi University staff that went through the training, and therefore they got the skills. And these staff that went through the training were able to develop modules. For example, one of the modules they developed is this on the right, a BIT knowledge-based system unit. So we had three outputs of our project. Why was this project important to us? As you can see, here is a lecturer who was wondering, with a lot of text behind him. And he was wondering, how does he transit from traditional face-to-face class or online class? One way was we were being told, upload the notes, the electronic notes of what we had. This left us with questions of, are those notes going to be accessible? Are they going to be inclusive? Are they going to be affordable? How interactive will this material be? So we noted there is need to do better on this. And the reason why this was being done like that was because there was lack of pedagogical skills and online teaching theory understanding. So with that understanding of the pedagogical skills which this project provided, and how to go about making the notes inclusive accessible and affordable, the project solved our challenges. Hence the importance. Who are the current and beneficiaries of this project in future? As you noticed, Kibabi University academic staff would be the beneficiaries because they'll receive the pedagogical skills, the understanding the theories that govern it, and how to develop the content. As they develop the content, Kibabi University will benefit because it will have the modules, and it will be, even after courses are developed, it will be able to reach learners beyond the walls of Kibabi across the whole world. Now, Kibabi University students will benefit a lot because they'll be able to be reached anywhere, anytime, and they'll be able to learn anytime, anywhere. Aside from the Kibabi community, academic staff from other institutions, as well as learners from other institutions, can benefit because if they want to get the skills, they can get Kibabi engaged to run the same program for them. And you see, the government of Kenya will be able to benefit because more learners with different abilities will be reached. And the open learning community in general will benefit because we shall be able to share best experiences and best practices, which will improve the materials as we go on to make them of higher quality. Colleagues, we want to assure you that this project has really changed our practice and thinking. One, the experience in making the digital content. Initially, we thought it's a matter of just uploading or even giving on WhatsApp, but we have the experience in making the digital content. Two, we are now able to consider the different learners' abilities, the different learners' environments, and the different learners' timings, and produce a product which is good for them. Three, we have been able to rework our earlier and develop digital content this time, which is accessible, inclusive, and affordable to all learners. Colleagues, we are even able to provide our teaching in a blended learning form, where we can teach them face-to-face and even on online. And when we are even doing it on online, we can mix asynchronous and asynchronous forms so that the learners can be able to get it at their own convenience. And finally, we have learned that this activity of digital content and teaching is a collaborative activity in content development and even teaching. The role of the technologist has been valued so much. The role of the curriculum specialist has been valued, as well as the role of the subject content matter specialist. We have learned it's a whole idea of teamwork. For anyone else who would want to embark on a similar project, we would want to advise them that they do not need to start from scratch. They do not need to reinvent the wheel, but they can remix. For example, content from this project we have done is shared under the Common Creative Rights, and we only need acknowledgement. Two, that when you are working, have mentors to work with. They'll advise where you cannot see or foresee earlier. Three, there is need to develop accessible, inclusive, and affordable modules so that it cannot be too expensive and it can be accessed by people with different abilities. A caution we would want to give is watch out for under or overestimating the workload. There is a tendency to give too much within too short a time. That's why mentors will help and need to examine and reevaluate your work. Then spending more time on planning while addressing all possibilities would be key. The key concept is plan and plan. When the plan is done well, things will go well. We would also want to advise that different learners are unique in their own ways and they have different needs. The content we develop in digital content should reach their different unique needs. Then, as we develop content in digital form, they have to consult and consult. No one is an expert. And you'll discover that learners of today will not have the same needs as learners of tomorrow. Hence, they need to consult and consult. Finally, on these advices, they should know that it's a whole idea of collaborative work, a team of different specialties being brought together. Finally, our future plans for the project. We foresee a scenario where we shall continuously run this stuff over and over again for the staff at Kibabi, so that even when new staff come in, they'll just go through this program and they'll get the skills that would have been without. And even institutions which are outside Kibabi, if they engage Kibabi, they can benefit from this program. And then secondly, that capacity building events, seminars to share challenges and best practices and showcasing can bring in a lot of new ideas which will even help us improve on the work. I want to say thank you and welcome to Kibabi University.